Hey you guys, I'm AJ with Eyes on Jesus, and today I'm in my friend Dana's kitchen, and I am going to be showing you how I have been making a new recipe called Shea butter chocolate, and even better when it's on walnuts. Today Dana gets to try it. I've made multiple versions of this. This is what I have come up with my favorite. So the reason for shea butter, I'm actually going to talk about after I make the recipe for those of you who are interested in watching the recipe and not hearing the talk. The shea butter, mine actually I was using for my face a little bit, so there's a little bit of essential oil that sort of changed the color, but basically I bought this yellow. It's 100% raw shea butter, but from what I've read, you kind of want a whitish color, that there's different kinds. And the higher quality is going to be a whitish color. You want it without hexane because you don't want to build up stuff that's not healthy. What you can do is use raw shea butter instead of raw cocoa butter. And carob powder, you can get raw carob powder. I didn't have any raw carob powder. This is raw honey, and so raw honey kind of varies in taste. You want to find a raw honey that you really like. This is one that is solid at room temperature. It's crystallized, and it works really well for this recipe because it makes the chocolate nice, like a magic shell, where the chocolate sort of hardens on whatever it is, and so this sort of does that. And so I like the solid. This is Aldi raw, specially selected raw honey, and you can find one that works for you, but this is cheap and it's good and it's raw. Okay, so we're going to do equal amounts of the carob powder and the shea butter, and then 1 to 3. So 3 times as much of the raw honey. I can still taste the shea butter in this, but it tastes good. I'll come back, you guys, when I have this measured out. Okay, so in my bowl, I have 3 dollops, you like that word, of the honey. So they just kind of look like honey balls down there. And so that's 3 tablespoons of that, and then the tablespoon of the carob, and this raw shea butter, I kind of, it's close enough, okay, right? So I'm going to mix this together, and I forgot to tell you also, I put in Himalayan sea salt to taste, because the salt brings out the sweetness better. We're doing the sweetener plus the shea butter plus the carob. There are reasons to not eat raw cacao every day, but carob you could do every day. I have eaten this multiple times and have found it to be extremely helpful for skin stuff. So shea butter is typically applied to the skin, and that's how I was using it, as I said. But one day I walked past the shea butter and I felt like I wanted to eat it. Isn't that funny? And so I looked it up to see if it was edible, and usually you only want to put skin products on that are edible, and since it's from a plant, I thought, well, it probably is edible. There's edible flowers. So yes, it is edible. So if you get the wild, organic, raw, unrefined stuff, it can be very good. And so basically, shea butter and cocoa butter have similar properties. You can read Dr. Ack's article about shea butter and cocoa butter, but a lot of times they're used in chocolate. And so he suggested trying it as a chocolate, and I tried it. I'm like, yeah, because I ate it plain the first time, and I'm like, I don't know. I didn't really like the taste of it or the eating of it, but my body felt so good. Here's what it looks like, and I didn't completely mix it in. You can see it's still on my spoon there a little bit. Salt to taste. Usually I just ask the Holy Spirit when to stop, so I'm just gonna do some to taste. You're like, stop there, okay. Okay, so I have my completely mixed stuff here, and you can see it's nice and thick, and it's very nice little topping that you could use for any sort of thing, really. So I tasted it. It tastes really good. Nice walnuts. You can sort of, well, wrap it or dip it however you want to. I'm just gonna make a few of these and stick them on a plate and stick them in the freezer. And even before it's dry, you can see it's sort of already on there coated. It's really nice. Okay, so I got my fingers cleaned off by licking them. Woohoo! And so I'm going to tell you the rest of the stuff about the shea butter. So you got the recipe, and here's the thing, the shea butter, I just felt like as I was eating it that it was having a very beneficial effect for my body, but also that the nanotech did not like it and the demons did not like it. And so I did a little research, and I really feel like this is a valuable thing to pair with the Deliverance music for nanotech cleansing, for healing the skin. So what I've been noticing with my Deliverance music is that it really has been pushing them out. And since they're like really sort of, you know, it affects the nervous system, the nanotech does. As I did take it internally, I felt this, it just felt really calm all over my body. And I already knew that a lot of people use shea butter for Morgellons lesions to heal them and to help with the skin healing. I have found that there are things that we can apply topically and get benefit from them, but if we take it internally, we can get even more benefit. Like some people put cucumbers on their skin and it helps their skin, but if you eat the cucumbers, you get even more benefit. And so there's a variety of things like that. You can apply, you know, iodine, you can apply it topically and get benefits, but if you take it internally, you get even more. So I just felt like the Lord was saying, eat the shea butter. And then I looked up online, and what else is there with shea butter? Well, people in Africa who eat it, they call it the tree of life. And they feel that there's spiritual protective properties with it. And I felt like for me, yes, there was like, it just felt like God created this thing and it has really beneficial properties. And the nanotech is like, you know, evil, demonic technology, or, you know, technology that evil has corrupted anyway. And so it's like this positive spiritual thing, and God uses it so spiritually, then the nanotech doesn't like it. Well, the demons don't like it. But then there's also these physical benefits of it boosts collagen production. It makes this quick turnover in skin cells. So as the Deliverance music is pushing things out, like it's been really pushing things out of the skin, but the shea butter produces this quick turnover in the new skin. And the other thing with shea butter, like in Africa, you know, it was shown that there can be like keloid, abnormally large scar tissue, or just scar tissue that's not right. And so the shea butter reduced that and brought the proper, the healthy tissue to grow back. So that's good. So there's like enzymes in the shea butter that, and there's other things like it helps the beta cells in the pancreas. It helps with diabetes stuff. People use cocoa butter, which has similar properties to get rid of pain from peripheral neuropathy, like in the feet, which is interesting because a lot of times the nanotech can be felt in the feet area. And so the cocoa butter, similar properties, really helps people get rid of the pain and the feelings of neuropathy, which is so related. And so shea butter can also be used, I think, for that. And it also has stuff that can rebuild the myelin sheath, the I think it's oleic acids in it, but it's omega-6 that are primarily responsible for rebuilding the myelin sheath. So this is high in that. So it helps with the myelin sheath, and that's this protective coating around the nerves, so it really softens and makes things feel better. I'm sure there's other good things that I'm missing, but those are some of the main ones. And so I feel like this is really, really beneficial, and I felt like God wanted to expose this to me and to share it with you guys. And so you can do your research about the other benefits of shea butter. There's really a lot of them, but it's really good for skin and healing and nerves. And so yeah, this is a delicious way to get it in, and I feel like God's gonna have me continue to eat this paired with the Deliverance music to really, you know, it brings, shea butter is used for youthening, for getting rid of wrinkles, and it's like all these things that the Lord has shown me, it's not real. Aging is not real. It's this nanotech junk. Like, I've seen wrinkles develop as I do the parasite cleansing, and just these deep lines that happen, and it's like, oh, that's the nanotech. And I've seen it as a, you know, on the Deliverance music, the deep lines coming as they're leaving. Like, oh, okay. And then the youthful skin. And so God's bringing the youth back. We get rid of the nanotech and the junk and put in the, you know, the stuff that builds the healthy tissue, and we go back to youth and childhood and vibrancy. And so the tree of life, the Shea tree, the carite tree, so it's really awesome stuff. So a great way to get it in, and I hope you enjoy it. God bless you guys. I'll see you next time. Bye.